11 already. I have to go at 11. It's 10:39. We have a little bit of time. Walking. Hi, if you're actually watching, here's a quick introduction. My name is Dany. I'm 20 years old. I attend UW Seattle, but I'm doing an internship abroad in northern Spain. Sunday was my third full day, and I was already feeling the loneliness. There's gonna be other students from my school studying abroad in this town, but they're not gonna get here until Tuesday. So until then, I was stuck giving myself tours around the city and trying to get to know the roads. For the program that I'm in, there are typically like multiple students all over town, but this quarter they've only sent one, and that is me. The first week honestly felt eternal. I was constantly depressed, I was missing home and my friends at every moment. There was a big time difference with all my loved ones, so I couldn't call anyone or text anyone during the days. I'm typically not extroverted, but I was really missing my people. Also, I don't like coffee at all, and Spain loves their coffee, so I tried drinking something with chocolate to see if it would help, and all I literally had to do was look up. My one and only class of today is done. This insanely cheap tea and the amazing views from this town were really helping, but I was still just trying to distract myself from how lonely I was. I tried finding a local gym, but the prices were insane, and I would rather save my money to travel and go out rather than on a gym membership. After what felt like months, Tuesday finally rolled around and I was able to take a tour with the rest of the students from my university. Even though I had already seen everything on my own, it was still really cool to walk around in an actual group and hear the history behind all the buildings, and the professors who were running this were so helpful, and I started to feel like I was finally studying abroad. Sort of. I still felt very lonely and like I didn't have any friends. But that is just part of it, I've come to realize, and I really had to learn how to be alone again. Back at UW, it was my second year, so I was kind of making friends. I was settling into a school. I'm from out of state, so the first week at UW was also just very difficult, and I was going through that again, but in a whole different country. I just got out of my internship and now I'm going home. It was the first day, so it's a lot of introductions. I felt very crowded, but because I was meeting a lot of people. The work that I'm going to be doing, I still don't fully understand, but I think will be exciting enough. This is my walk home. Heading home. Day 3. Last night I got an email saying like submission posted for one of my classes, and I was like, I didn't do anything. I have a 0 for 2 assignments on my general studies class. In my defense, the assignments were due the day that I was flying in here, so my internship hadn't even started. Light's going crazy. My internship hadn't even started. My quarter technically hadn't even started, so I'm freaking out. So it turns out that the class in Spanish that I need to take does not happen until noon. But I still had to come in early to check. I'm just gonna chill, do some homework until noon, I guess, or go back, go to a cafe. Who knows? The world is my oyster. That one friend that I have was in her own study abroad class, so most of the time, even now, I'm on my own. I was very nervous for my first class, especially since the quarter had already started and I missed a whole week. I was hoping my classmates would take me in, but I knew I had to make an effort to reach out to them and ask for their numbers and just overall be social and forthcoming. It might not seem like a rough task, but it certainly is. I still have to point out the fact that it's literally 8 p.m. at night here. So I feel like I have to say something that really needs to be addressed. In the experience I've had so far, just being in Spain. Today marks a week since I got in. It's kind of sad that already I have stuff to say about this, but as you know, I am Mexican, and I'm, I tell people, they ask where you're from. I say Mexico, even though I'm studying in Seattle, and my nuclear family, my parents, my siblings, we all live in Arizona. We're all from Mexico, and that's what we say when people ask. That's what I say. I was born and raised there. I also speak I speak a very advanced Spanish. So people ask, where are you from? Because I'll say I'm here as a student from Seattle. They're like, oh, but where are you from? Which it's okay. I don't mind that people ask that. Because, I have a different accent than them, and so I understand that curiosity. However, almost every time that I bring up Mexico and being from there, someone will ask me almost if Mexico is really all violence and drugs, which I think is also a fair question to an extent. Every country that you're gonna visit or that you live in has its issues. I'm not downplaying the issues that Mexicans living in Mexico, because I'm obviously not living in Mexico, the issues that they have to go through, especially indigenous people in Mexico and the mistreatment by government. But when people from foreign places ask me oh, is it really all drugs and violence, I will say no. I will say every country, it has its issues. And I don't have to shit on Mexico to someone that I barely know. And especially because most of the people that have asked me, it has been with racist connotations. If someone, I've had, for example, my homestay mother, we've had a good conversation about Mexico and yes, the violence there, because she was genuinely curious, not because she was trying to sort of say something about my people as a whole and kind of comment on our race almost, which is what most of my experience has been here. It's almost like the people that have asked me don't see why this might be affecting me negatively, that I kept that they're constantly poking at me. So there's honestly just so much that I could go into and that I can't go into because I'm not educated enough to go into it. However, I definitely can say that I feel very uncomfortable. But I also wish that people would realize that asking that question to someone you just met is not appropriate, and that's something that you can look into yourself, that you can Google. We can Google everything. I will tell you my experiences living in Mexico and being from Mexico if you want, but if the first thing you ask me is it really all drugs and violence? How are we gonna have a good conversation about it? Because you obviously already have this perception built that Mexico is all drugs and violence. So I'm not gonna convince you otherwise. I'm not
educated enough to try and make a good argument to change your perspective on a whole nation. Like, I never had to do that. And anytime that someone tells me that they're from a country that has recently experienced violence or is currently going through something violent, I'm not gonna ask about it. Before coming here, I watched a lot of studying abroad in Madrid, studying abroad in Barcelona, to sort of get an idea of Spanish life. I want to talk about this because if there's anyone else like me that's studying abroad, you're not alone. If you're traveling abroad right now, you're studying abroad, and you're a person of color and you're experiencing that, if you're a person of color and you're experiencing this, you're not alone. And I know you probably haven't seen many YouTube videos talk about it, but you're not alone, and it sucks. It hasn't ruined Spain for me, though. It has made it harder to love it just because I've only been here one singular week. But yeah, just hang in there. Know your worth. Know your worth is all I can say. And if things get bad and out of hand, reach out to those around you, because there's always good people. There's always someone that's gonna be willing to help you. Reach out to your friends and family back home. Tell them that you're struggling a little, and be honest about it. They will want to listen to you. They will want to be there for you. So I understand you. That's all I want to say. So. Today, for the first time ever, I'm going to a social event. This is my first time out at night on my own. I'm not really nervous. I mean, Leon hasn't given me any reason to feel unsafe. Never mind. This got spooky really quick. There's is that even a stable shot? I don't know. But there's absolutely no one. Where's the nightlife that Leon brags, bruh? There's no one on these roads. Whatever. Officially surpassed a week since I left home for this crazy adventure that has been studying abroad. I still miss my home entirely too much, and my heart clenches when I think about my dogs, my bed, my job, my friends, my siblings, and my parents, and fast Wi-Fi. I've struggled to get out of my shell and spend most of the time holed up in my room than out exploring Leon. I've made a few friends who I didn't make until literally yesterday. Despite all this, I know that this experience is a service to myself. I have to grow and see the world to know what I want in life. The people I miss will be there when I get back. Hopefully they'll want to get to know the person that I will grow to be through this experience, and I will get to know the person that they have become through theirs. I was feeling really lonely at home because my friend did sort of stand me up. Not really. We didn't have any solid plans, but it's still, I was ready to go. So the energy is there. I was on the phone with my boyfriend though for an hour and a half more. So the energy is going down, but I decided to still walk into the bar, Barrio Húmedo, and the area, the live area, to get ice cream. Though, not to go into a bar or dance. Just purely ice cream.
I've come to realize just how much of an expectation we set up around studying abroad. The one where every moment has to be filled with memories. Every night means going out to dance or drink. Every weekend is meant for leaving town to visit other places. Every outfit is aesthetically pleasing, and every post tells the truth of how a person was feeling behind the camera. It's okay to have a different experience than everyone else. It's okay to go out for ice cream by yourself. It's okay to travel alone. It's okay to find solace in the small moments of life. Learning to be alone is a skill that is becoming harder and harder to learn because we're constantly comparing ourselves to others. I wish I could tell myself sitting on that bench that things are about to get better really, really soon.